Okay, so let me give you some information right quick so you can have a better understanding of what I'm talking about. The prime intensifier is the intensity point appearing in the largest quantity. It indicates strong and obvious characteristics. Let me give you an example. When I'm doing an analysis of a person's full name, that's their birth name, their middle name, and the family name, I'm looking to see the representations of the numbers. If a number is not present, then that's going to pose a challenge for this individual in this particular incarnation, unless that missing number is found in another key area of a person's chart. If the number are in abundance, say if you got one particular number that's in abundance, that's called an intensity point. That is going to modify the character of the individual. And you're going to see it in the personality and the behavior. So, for an example, let's say I'm doing analysis of the name and a person has, say, two ones in their name. Say they got an A and an S in their names. So both of the A and the S both vibrate to the number one. And let's say that's average. Let's say most people have like two ones in their names. Okay, that means that this individual is going to have an okay, self-esteem about him or herself. Gonna be able to, do a little initiative, take some initiatives about themselves. And they're probably gonna pursue their objectives in life and, be moderately, perhaps, successful. But let's say a person only have one number one in their names. Now it's below average. That means this particular individual may not think too highly of him or herself, may not take self-initiative. Okay? Now, let's say this name carries four or five number ones. Now, that's a modifier. That's an intensity point. That means you're definitely going to see that personality of a person with five ones. This person may come across as super aggressive, bossy, arrogance. They may have the attitude that no one is better than I. I'm getting to the top by any means necessary. This number one probably will be sitting at the top. But how did he get there? How many toes did he step on to get there? How many enemies did he create to get there? And how would he lead? Would he lead with compassion? Probably not. Would he lead with arrogance, dictatorship? There's a strong probability. And you will see that in the temperament of an individual that has a very strong intensity point of the number one. So, in my chart on Wuhan, in the analysis, you notice that there was here, let me pull it up again so you guys can see. So you can see here's the intensity chart here. You can see that there are 3 8s and there are 3 2s. Okay? When I analyze the upside down pyramid, there's 15 letters, 15 numbers in the upside down pyramid. And because it's upside down, it's in the challenging aspect or the negative aspects. Those 3 8s are stating that if we don't act quickly to get ahead of this virus, our economic system is going to be disrupted and the money is going to stop flowing. And people are going to lose their jobs and their livelihoods. That's what those 3 8s are representing. To go even deeper with the analysis, those 3 8s come back to a number 6, which denotes that the children of the planet is going to experience this. Now, the goddess energy, remember now, the goddess energy is number 2. Okay, she sits above all of this. She sits in she sits in she sits on the same throne as the God energy. They work equally. But it is the goddess energy, it is time for her to lead, to go forward. Goddess energy, mother energy, female energy is always closer to the children than the father energy. The father energy is dealing on the first level of logic, what is practical. The goddess energy don't deal so much with logic, but with feelings, emotions. A woman, a mother, a goddess is always closer to the children than the father because she brings forth the life. She has the compassion, she has the mercy, she has the grace. But she's not going to tolerate her children being mistreated. And this is what's going on. Those ones, those leaders, those corporations, those eights, those individuals that's holding the money bags, hoarding the resources, not doing right by her children, not sharing the resources, subjugating her children to all types of atrocities. No, she's not going to stand for that. She's saying that if you don't bring it back into harmony, I'm going to hit you. I'm going to hit you in the area that you're in love with. And the ones and the eights are in love with themselves and with their money. So you are observing that the money is being interrupted. The world economy is being interrupted right now. That's what those 3 eights are representing. Those 5s are saying is that I'm going to do it with speed. Right? And those 3 2s come back to a 6. You see the pattern? 3 2s is a 6. 3 8s is a 24, which is a 6. Those 3 2s, the guys are saying is that what you have done unto the least of them, you have done unto me. You guys need to get it together and start working together. Start sharing my resources to everybody. I'm not going to stand by and watch only 1% or 10% hoard all of the wealth and prevent the other 90% or 99% from having. That's exactly what's going on. That is exactly her position. She's saying that I am not angry at my children. I have compassion for my children. It is those that I have instructed or I have given the power to, the ones and the eights that are not doing right. This whooping is for them. Okay? So that's what this upside down pyramid is representing. Okay? And the bottom of the pyramid, show it to you again. The bottom of the pyramid is the overall lesson. Is the overall lesson. We have to learn to start communicating with each other. We have to network. We have to understand that we're all one family. The 6 is the family, and the 2 is how you relate to each other within the family. So I'm going to wind up this first part. So this is the primary line. This is a snapshot. Okay, this is like a painter. He paints his picture, right? This energy in here is the fine details. The energy in here is your fine details, right? It's like after the artist finished with the overall picture, he goes in and he fine tunes it, right? He makes sure that that he gets the hair just right. Or if a person has a particular mold, he makes sure that he highlights that mold. This is just a fine detail analysis of what's going on within the primary line. Is indicating the strengths of this primary line. And you see the strength is these 3 8s and these 3 2s. And because it's upside down, it's in the negative. She's saying that we're not cooperating and we're not sharing the wealth. When I say we, I'm talking about those that has been entrusted. The ones, your leaders, your governments, your counselor, your legislators, your judges. The 8 is the wealth, the corporations, the billionaires, the millionaires, this hoarding the resources of planet Earth and just giving out crumbs to the people. And one other point that I want to make is that the virus is moving quickly. That's what those files are representing. There's 2 of them. They're coming at the front and in the back. And in America, we're not moving fast enough. And so we're going to get hit hard because we're not moving fast enough. Give me an example. The 5 and the 4 energy usually is in disharmony with one another because a 4 energy is stable, likes to stay put, and a 5 energy likes to go. But I'm going to give you an example how the 5 and the 4 came together. When the Chinese recognized that they had a crisis on their hands, they immediately closed down Wuhan, a city of about 10 million people. Then they recognized that they're going to have to take care of their sick. And so within 14 days, they erected 2 hospitals. The 2 energies, the goddess energy again, 2 of them. With a tremendous amount of speed, that would be that 5. But the hospital was built from the land up, meaning that they didn't take buildings that was already constructed and was able to convert them into hospitals. No, they broke ground. They squared the earth, which is a 4 energy, and they built within 2 weeks 2 hospitals for the sole purpose attending to their sick. That's a 5 energy of speed, and the 4 energy, you got to square the earth, you got to bring in the labors, you got to bring in the materials, and they did it with speed. So that 5-4 energy worked in harmony, and it was able to get it done. Here in America, we're not going to be building no hospitals with that type of speed because it's corporate ran. Everybody wants to get paid. You got to have permits. You got to do this. You got to do that. So we dragging our feet. So much regulations that we can't get nothing done with speed. In this incident, you need to go fast. It's not a lot of time to be deliberating. You got to see the crisis and you got to get on top of the crisis. And America is not doing that. Okay, so this is part 1 of my analysis, and there's 3 more to come. If you have any questions, leave them down below. So the next lesson is going to be on Corona. I'm going to show you what's happening within Corona. Okay? And then the next lesson is going to be on virus, and then we're going to put coronavirus together. Okay, so to the next video, peace.